live from. We're going to let Karen introduce herself to my audience and the people that are joining from my page, so we can first just understand who we are talking to, the genius of all geniuses of food that we're talking to, the gift that we have today. What made you start your journey? Like, just share a little bit with us today, Karen.
Okay.
And let us know
you.
what you want us to call you. Do you want us to call you Chef K?
You can just call me K. K is fine. Or Karen.
Okay.
Karen is my government name. My family does not call me K. Most people call me K or Agum. But Karen is my government name, so I answer to it.
Okay.
So hi everyone, good evening. My name is Karen Agum. I am an attorney and a food blogger by trade. Recently moved from DC to Houston in July, and I'm loving it thus far. I love the warmer winters. I do not miss East Coast at all, not even a little bit.
We miss you.
I do miss the people. I do miss the people, but I miss the environment and all the drama associated with it. But I published my first cookbook in July, and it is a health-driven, well, nutrition-driven, actually, recipe book. And so I thought it was really important to put out a cookbook that was focused on healthy but delicious meals. Oftentimes when people think of health, they think of in terms of sacrifice, like it's either eating good or eating well, right? And nothing in between. And that's not really true. And through my discovery of like starting my own health journey back in 2010 and just trial and error and getting into food blogging, I really developed a passion for health and wellness. A little backstory, my father had colon cancer back in 2006. And so he was given a really short term to live. I think he was given 6 months, and we changed his diet and he was able to live 2 years, right? That was just with diet, right? And so that really kind of started or opened my eyes to the impact of eating well and the impact of the foods that we consume and how it will either give us health or take away from that, right?
Right.
And then food is more than just health to me. Like I come from a family of cooks. Funny story, I did not learn how to cook until I was like in my mid-20s.
Oh wow.
I was one of those girls, you know, very pro woman, feminist. I was like, oh no, I don't need to learn how to cook. But then I got hungry. And I did not like any of the healthy foods that were out there. And I am Nigerian, and so I wanted that flavor. I wanted that good home cooked feel and taste, but I also wanted something that was health forward. So I started blogging and just kind of teaching myself along the way. And then I got certified in nutrition to really just make sure that the recipes were rooted in nutrition. I think there's a lot of food bloggers out there, or just people in general, that will say, oh, this is healthy, right? But healthy is a very blanket term. We all have different goals. And so for me to say something's healthy, it may not speak to Zadia's goals, right? It may not speak to my sister's goals. So I think it's really important for us to start, you know, having these conversations that are rooted in evidence and science, so we can learn how to, you know, I guess make health our own. Like health does not have to be bland chicken and broccoli or however, you know, the others have demonstrated health to be. So that's my background.
Oh, well, I'm the opposite of you, Karen. I actually have been cooking since I was 9. I was a sous chef for my my aunts and my mother, and once we're also we have a Panamanian background. So my mom and my mom's family, they're from Panama. So we cook a lot of food with a lot of different spices as well. So of course, you know, there's a lot of African influence in Caribbean and Latin American food. So we I've been cooking for a very long time, and we grew up vegan. So I kind of go back and forth between like a vegan, soul food, Panamanian eater. Like I mix all those things together. So when I saw like what you were doing and how you were reimagining your cultural food, and also like really moving people into a space where they were eating to live, right? Eating to nourish their bodies, but still having those flavors that they long for. I was just like, this is dope. I love everything that you're doing, because honestly and truly, a lot of people feel like they can't change their diet because of like certain foods, particular foods. Like I remember I had a client that was like, I can't miss fish fry Thursdays. And I was like, so we're gonna have to figure out
I
how
can't
to
go
bring,
plantain.
yeah. So we're gonna have to figure out how to incorporate this and how to like really still get you the results and still get you, better health. But you're still able to like have your reimagined fish fry. I always say that. Like we can reimagine the dish. So I'm so excited about this conversation. I think it's going to be very, very helpful. I'm going to talk you through like trying to save it in the end, because I don't know if you have it set up to where like the archives and all that other stuff. But if you just save it on your phone, then we'll be able to share it for the replay. But yeah, so let's just dive into it. So we're going to start this first half off with us just discussing different ways to for a better nutrition for you, as well as like meal prepping, and just talk about the woes, talk about the pros and the cons, how you'll be able to like really incorporate that and make it a part of your life. And then the second half, we're gonna plate one of Karen's dishes from her cookbook Revamp, which you guys need to go and run over to her page or stay on her page and buy it now. But we're gonna go. We're gonna create the Cajun, what is it? Blackened shrimp. I got it. Shrimp and quinoa bowl. Yes. So I'm excited about this. Just stay tuned for the cooking portion of it, and we're gonna go ahead and just dive into this conversation. So let's just talk about nutrition. What you kind of talked about what made you want to become a nutrition coach. Now when you talk to people after learning everything that you have learned from your certification and from the trial and error that you have, like how would you describe and how would you define like nutrition to a person?
I think we have seen nutrition through the lens of diet culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we see it paleo or keto or following a particular method of eating, right? Whereas nutrition is just all of it. It's just eating in a way that nourishes your body, right? And we all have different goals. So an athlete will eat different from a regular person who works at a corporate job, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, there is a baseline as far as, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, macros are part of nutrients that your body needs in order to operate in its optimal capacity, right? So to me, nutrition is just the foods that help you optimize being human. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think a lot of people like start to get afraid of food because they get so confused about it. And it saddens me, like, because that's like one of the first conversations that I have with most of my clients. It's like, what are you eating? And it's like, well, I only ate like one meal today. It's like, just baseline, your body needs more than one meal,
Yeah.
So it's when I talk about that with clients, I'm like, hey, so this is like where everything starts. This is the foundation. Nutrition is the foundation of everything that you're going to be doing from here on out. If you don't have proper nutrition, if you're not well nourished, you're not going to be able to get through the workouts that you're asking me to give you, or the workouts that you're trying to push your body to do. And it's also going to be like throughout the entire day, like affecting you in all type of ways. So I like to always like define that for clients and define that for people, because a lot of people would just think that, if I eat chicken, broccoli, and almonds, I'm gonna get to the results that I want to get to. And it's like, no,
but you'll also be very unhappy, and you will revert back to your lifestyle because nobody wants to do it.
Yeah. So I just always try to tell people, like, you want to fall in love with food, and you want to fall in love with the discovery of what food can do, and why God gave us certain like vegetables and fruits, and like these things are here for us to like really use for our bodies and to move throughout the day, So let's talk about like how you make nutrition work for you.
Okay. I make nutrition work for me depending on my goals, right? So when I started my health journey, I was overweight. I was about 200 pounds. And so the way I ate then was different. It was also informed a lot by diet culture.
Yeah.
But this was like trial and error. But how I eat now is more so, I focus on whole foods, right? And when I mean whole foods, I don't mean like the grocery store, but I mean real ingredients like a sweet potato instead of buying a prepackaged frozen sweet potato, right?
Right.
Trying to make my meals as natural as possible, eating more protein, having a good understanding of like the sugars that are in certain
Yeah.
ingredients, right? Oftentimes, I think the biggest misconception of healthy eating is that there's so much information on the internet, right? And a lot
It
of it
is.
is not from health professionals. And so it's just anybody out there with a platform saying, this is healthy, this helped me lose weight. There are several ways that you can lose weight, right? But it may not be sustainable and also may not be helpful, right? It may not be
Right.
good for your body. And that's something that I had to learn along the way and was sort of like ingrained to me while being certified, while studying for nutrition. But it was really just kind of like learning, unlearning a lot of the stuff, right?
Yeah.
I eat candy all the time, never giving it up, right? I have learned to
You got
make
a sweet
balance.
tooth.
Listen, yesterday was my first day, the month, and like I needed some sour gummy worms to like pull me through. And I didn't feel bad about it. It's just, you call me